for it to be like enjoyable or something like that. Hey, yo, what's up, Cave Trader? Yo, appreciate that. And good morning, Alfred. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I shorted this the pullback into this because we was talking about this last night. If this leg broke 700, then that means that the Bears are in control. So when I saw this, when I woke up this morning, I saw that the price or that this leg broke 700, and right around the time I was looking at the charts, price was pulling right back into this area of supply. So I took it, and it was the right decision. I got the bulk of this position already filled. Just waiting for the rest of it right now. You in short too? Good morning, Investor Z. I think it's pretty obvious what the ES about to do. Question is, we might get some turbulence on the ES though. We may get some turbulence, and just because everything ain't set up for the so if the ES drops, it's not set up for it to because this will be the first drop. It's already closing underneath or trading underneath this trend line. So it's probably going to get bought up. And then selling that retest down is probably going to be the move on ES. We'll see though. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it, dude. Damn it. Damn. Damn. Well, I gotta kill these orders, I think. Yeah, miss me. Shit. Damn it. Damn it. Shit, miss me. Well, I gotta pull these orders, man. Gold miss me. Gold miss me. Gold miss me. All right, that's. I guess I can't win them all, huh? All right, hit that last target, boo. Or not the last target, but that's the second target right there. Who knew trading with the trend was makes trading this easy? No wonder why I fought against it and made it hard. Who knew trading in the direction of the trend, trading becomes easy? Who knew? Hmm. Good morning, Santiago. Yo, congratulations on that, Santiago. I'm probably once I get this filled, I'll probably go to my other account as well. I was hoping that I was gonna get a victory in my funded accounts today, but gold missed my limit. And I front ran the hell out of that target too. Maybe I should have been more aggressive with it, apparently. But I guess you can't get them all, I guess. Actually, let me look at gold real quick because yeah, I mean, it could potentially. Mm, 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 mm. Ah. Mm, mm, You know what, man? Hold on, what? Hold on, hold on, what? Oh, 401. Oh. I want to say, what the freak? Mm. All right, so we got about 3 more minutes until the orb. I will say this: managing managing different accounts is definitely challenging. I will say that, and this is definitely challenging. Trying to make sure that all the accounts that I have are performing at the level that I need them to perform at. But we'll definitely. Mm, all right. All right. So the orb. We're trading on low volume again this morning. We got low volume in the market. I'll share that data with you guys once it's completed, once it's official. All right. So about 336. So yeah, 336,000. Yeah, so we definitely don't have the volume this morning. We started out with 262,000 contracts trading roughly at 8:30, and 15 minutes later, actually what I probably should do is actually add another column in this so I can see difference. All right, so roughly we're trading. So it was only roughly 74,000 contracts added in the first 15 minutes of the market. So that's definitely not it obviously shows that we're not going to be trading with a high volume this morning, unfortunately. So we could see the battle of the bulls and the bears. We're going to probably see a lot of fake outs and probably a lot of chop. But I'm going to stick to the short side here. We got a trend line above. We got price breaking structure to the downside. So I'm going to stick to the short side on this one. I know it's going to be a stressful short. It's going to be one of those stressful days to trade the market because I know everybody is going to be trying to buy the dip. And we will be seeing momentum pushes here and there. We know how the Nasdaq plays, but until the bulls finally break structure back up above this support trend line, I'm going to be looking for shorts. You know what? Yeah. Dude, this. Man, I think that's probably why I'm trying to blow these accounts, so I can just have all my mental resources on one account. But I can't do that to myself. I'm not going to do that to myself. I spent money on these accounts, and I gotta remind myself of that. I mean, once the money's spent, it's spilt milk, so I don't care about it. But I mean, at least if you're not going to, if you're going to try to blow them, this is what I'm telling myself. If you're just going to just start gambling and blow them, I mean, you can put these accounts to use. Take the trades that you wouldn't normally trade and see what happens. See what happens in them, and use them as learning tools. But trading between multiple accounts is definitely not fun for sure. I think the most of that. So if I can do it again, I will probably only have two accounts. One account for the evening, one account for the morning. And I definitely agree with that, cave trader. I don't know what it is about. I really don't know what it is about that internal voice wanting to stay a loser. I really don't, man. I really don't. Oh, it's okay to be a loser. It's okay. No, it's not. Losers don't get no bitches. Only winners do. So obviously it's not okay. Losers don't get respect from their peers. Only winners do. So it's not okay. If it was all okay to be a loser, then why is everybody trying to be a winner? Is not okay. I'm speaking in the next 8 minutes. About the National Guard to DC. Are they protesting again? Usually, so the last time I heard about protests in DC is, are they protesting about Israel again? I mean, we've already spoken about Israel on this channel. There's a reason why the American government is funding Israel. We've already spoken about this. Israel is an American asset. They can go on TV and pretend that they're independent, but they're not. They are an American asset. They are owned by America. Mm. Yo, you know how it is. The news just facilitates the trade, baby. It's going to go in the direction it was already going to go into anyway. Oh my God, Go. Why would you do that to me? Man, whatever, man. Okay. All right. Now I really got to pull these orders now. I got to pull these orders. I got to pull these orders now. All right. I just wait for the next setup on gold then. That's fine. Let's wait for the next setup. Probably won't be trading gold today because the best time to get into gold is, like I said, around 7:30. 7:30 is probably on both sides of the clock where you should be looking at gold for an entry somewhere. Anything past 7 o'clock, going close to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, the trades are just not reliable unless we got some crazy news that's coming out or something's happening with the dollar or whatever. But outside of that, no. So I may not take a trade in gold today. It's okay though. I got my bad bitch Nasdaq doing that for me. All right. And I think, yeah, with the ES orb today, like I said, I kind of figured that it was going to do that. Kind of figured it was going to do that. ES is just so predictable to trade, man. It's just predictable. But we did get a trend line break. So the best way to trade this would be shorting the retest of that trend line. But obviously the price action has to confirm it. Damn, gold is like that, huh? You couldn't let your boy in, huh? Mm. Actually, let me see if I can find that conference real quick. Let's see if we can find that conference. Pretty sure it's going to be easy to find. Hmm. And I'm pretty sure I can't put it on stream because I'm probably going to get it taken down, get struck.
Oh, hey guys, Natasha Bertrand of CNN reports that around 800 National Guard troops
I didn't realize I had such a bad entry. I thought I got in closer. I thought I got in closer than that, but I thought I got closer than that. We'll turn the volume back on when Trump comes to the podium. All right. I thought I had a better entry than that, but I guess I didn't. Mm.
Everybody good? Yeah. Don't worry about it. Everybody.
Good afternoon.
As well. Anyone joy in this world,
Guess who's the leader for today? Well, if ES breaks back above this trend line, I might have to reconsider my Nasdaq short.
Yeah, they're well.
If the bears can hold this trend line or at least this orb high, then maybe I'm good. But if not, then I'm gonna have to reconsider my Nasdaq short unless she stops me out. Yeah. Yeah, ES does need to break back above it. If it does, then I'll just get my money back here on ES because it's going to probably come all the way back up to this high. And so I guess what I'll do here is the orb high is 1925. So 1925, 2025, probably 50.
Your shoulder makes an appearance in the
Dan and Bill, good morning to you once again. You're right, this issue will be front and center when the president arrives here in the press briefing room in the next few minutes. You can imagine quite the crowd in here. A lot of focus, of course, with the president's comments on his plan and his words to tackle a crime rate here in D.C. that he believes is unacceptable. Murders, carjackings, and robberies. We have seen all sorts of crimes in D.C. since the pandemic. While numbers appear to peak in 2023, we have seen a dip where the president still believes that the crime in the district, the nation's capital, is still unacceptable. What do we expect to hear from the president today? One will be whether or not the National Guard will actually be deployed on streets of D.C. Fox hearing up to 1,000
watch.
National Guard officials, troops.
Is that so I got the conference on, at least the volume of it.
Over the weekend, we saw
Agenda Free TV. Is that like
CBP, FBI, ATF out on the streets with DC?
Because if it's copyright, I wouldn't be able to put it on the
daily basis. Just over the weekend
stream.
in Navy Yard, it's a beautiful
At least the
part of
video,
DC,
the audio,
right here where the Washington
but not the
Nationals play.
video
We saw a
itself.
fight break out, lots of teenagers,
Can y'all hear the video?
gunshots, And from that, we also saw
Or
the
the audio?
city impose a juvenile curfew because so much of the focus data has been on the younger offenders in the district and whether or not the penalties have been too light for those people 14, 15, 16 who may be committing crimes. I remember we saw a number of carjackings from the last 2 years or so where it was shocking to find out that it would be a 14 or 15-year-old that would rob somebody at gunpoint and, of course, make off with the vehicle as well. We know that the new U.S. Attorney for D.C. has also been urging the City Council to come in and stiffen some of those penalties. But one of the biggest questions also will be about whether or not the president will have such authority to do what he's likely to unveil here. The White House already giving out a fact sheet of what they say is some of the arrests that were made over the weekend with the help of additional federal law enforcement sources. But one of the other questions would be whether or not we see Congress try to rein in some of DC's self-governing authority that dates back several decades. It's something that Republicans up on the Hill have talked about for a long time, but may not have had the votes to do just that. DC has a Democratic mayor, Muriel Bowser, who had been critical of Trump in the past, especially after what happened in early of 2021. But since then, they seem to have found somewhat of a working relationship. She was on another network over the weekend, and when she said that the president would be his authority to send
I don't know what that means, guys. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
But we've also heard from other DC
I don't know what that means. I don't know if that was just a sweep of liquidity right there, or I don't know what that means.
What the president is able to implement, what kind of time frame he's looking at. The White House putting out this fact sheet.
I don't know what that means.
Liberated DC to other world capitals, looking at Colombia, looking at London, and whether or not those numbers would be acceptable.
Don't know what that means. Let's look at the ES real quick. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure. I should be good short then. I should be good short. This should be a good short right here.
What they saw just a few years ago, but crime before the pandemic.
I just got a bad entry. I was trying to get in close to I was trying to get in close to like 30, 40 around S1. That's what I was trying to get into. But
absolutely still under concern.
I wasn't able to get that entry. I didn't realize that I got like a 29 entry when I was trying to get 40. So I basically gave the market about what? About 20 points almost.
Thank you, John.
All right, I don't want to listen to this.
No pressure.
So I'll turn the audio on when Trump comes to the podium. It's a bunch of noise. All right. So we can break this. I mean, I'm confident that we should probably see a short because that candle right there, that hourly candle is bearish. It's bullish, but bearish. You can tell that this is bearish. That hourly candle. Especially if we can get price to trade underneath 722. Yeah, that's kind of going to be it for the bears or bulls. We just know that it's just going to be stressful. The shorts is probably the better side to trade on. We just know that it's going to be stressful. We know we're going to probably, if we can withstand the storm, then the shorts will probably be victorious today. But the bulls, we all know how regarded they get. So we'll see. Yeah, I think so too, Santiago. I thought there would be a lot more speed. I thought the price would probably ping pong back and forth between the orb in the meantime, but it looks like the market is trying to stay towards the high of the orb. You know what? That's another opportunity right there. Potentially getting long on gold. Let me pay attention to that. Yeah. Definitely likes to keep people on their toes for sure. All right, so I'm gonna let these limits sit on gold. I'm gonna pull these orders at 10 o'clock. Like I said, I'm not gonna let these. If I get filled before 10 o'clock, then I'm gonna let it ride. But if these orders don't get filled at 10 o'clock or before, then I'm gonna close these out. All right. I guess I have to prepare for a follow up here. What's that? Hmm. Of course, the Bears wasn't going to hold. Of course. Mm, damn. Mm. Damn, I didn't even see that. Shit, I didn't see that. Oh my god, I didn't see that. Shit. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Shit, I did not see that. I did not see that. Hmm. Damn, I didn't see that. Okay, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I didn't see that. So I made a mistake. So I guess I blinded myself from this, and now I see it. I see it now, and this is what I'm talking about right here. I blinded myself from that, and I guess I see it. So we got a leg, and then it's finding support, and then now we're breaking. We broke above that high now. So now that's now a new strong low right there now. So I mean, I guess if we do see a pullback, they'll probably hold that or something like that. The market now is trying to go up now. We could see the market try to make an attempt to go back above this high. We'll see. We'll see. What I don't like is that the ES is. All right, so I bought the orb high. What I'm mostly concerned about in this position is this trend line. I mean, I'm going to shut up, I guess. And I mean, I bought the orb high. I just don't like that there's a freaking trend line in the way. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that. This could be an area where they try to take profits at. I'm just gonna let the trade play out. I don't like the fact that they rejected at the trend line on here on the ES. They rejected it on the ES. They failed to hold the orb high. Hmm. Hmm. All right, so you're adamant about waiting on Trump to speak before you even take the trade, huh? Hmm. Is Trump speaking or something? That was definitely a Trump candle right there. Okay, I'm going to I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it, and that was definitely a Trump candle. Actually, I'm going to attach this indicator. I'm gonna attach this to the indicator, the 21 EMA. And if it doesn't try to get me there, if she tries to be nasty to me, I'm going to limit into this right here. So ES, you ain't about to miss me. Okay. You said that you think that we can do it today, but not right now. You know what, man? The hourly candle is, like I said, the hourly is bullish, but man, hourly is bullish. If we can get price a breakout above this high, a strong close above 773, then I'll be more comfortable in this long. I will be way more comfortable in the long, for sure. I would prefer for price to hit my limit here at 418, but I don't want to have all of these get filled. So I'm gonna see which one gets filled here first. Of course, ES, you're gonna go after the higher one. You don't want to see your boy win. I get it. If this one gets filled, then I'm just gonna cancel. I'm gonna just pull these orders right here because that means price is right back above the support trend line, or right there at the orb high. That tells me that we could potentially see more follow through in this trade. So it just kind of sucks that I wasn't able to get the lower target filled, but okay, cool. All right, I'm in on this one, so I'm gonna pull those orders, and I'm gonna play it like this. Mm, all right. All right. So we're in on the Nasdaq orb. We're definitely profitable with at least 20 points. I am kind of disappointed in myself that I blinded myself from this. I should have solved this, but I was in short, so I guess, like I said, I blinded myself from this key piece of information until I got stopped out. It's crazy that as soon as I got stopped out, my mind allowed me to see this little price action move right here. And that's basically, this is a strong low, and this is the pivot low right here. We could still get a pullback, but it's going to be highly likely that the market still doesn't trade below 667. It's going to probably stay within this range, even if we do see a pullback. So kind of disappointed in myself that I did that to myself, but it's all right. It's not all right, but we're going to move forward. Uh, And I think this was Smith's target last night was 786. This was Smith's target last night. Yeah, my brother just sent me a video. He just moved out there to Plano, Texas. Dude, it's I will say this, man. Coming from where me and my brother came from, living the lifestyle that we live now. He sent me a video of how his sons reacted to the new place that they got down there in Plano, Texas, and it's crazy just how I guess when you so used to nothing, and then when you finally in something nice, it's just mind blowing. It's like, yo, that's crazy that his sons yeah, so. Mm. Of course, ES, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. Mm, mm, mm. Of course, ES, of course you did that. Mm. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Alfred. Money definitely. So they said that money don't bring happiness. It definitely does. I feel like if you exchange something like how do I want to say this? So money allows you to have the finer things in life for sure. Some of the stuff that I'm taking for granted now, like I was talking to my partner. I was telling her, I was like, man, I spent $200 on damn groceries on Saturday, and that didn't affect me one bit. It was just the fact that I don't usually spend that much on groceries. I didn't feel like I bought anything extra outside of the norm, but my grocery bill was $200. But 10 years from today, 2015, 2020, yo, I would have been throwing a fit. Like, damn, like I'm down $200 and I spent that shit on groceries. I was in college at the time. Obviously, when you're in college, you're living on a super tight budget, and $200 on groceries that's devastating. Devastating. I would have to put some shit back. I gotta put it back. Can't afford $200 in groceries. I feel that the only thing that money is worth in exchange is just hard work and effort. Anything outside of that, like if you're doing something that's, degrading of your temple, yourself, your soul, kind of like how them rappers got those kids to eat dog poop on the internet for $200 or some crazy ass shit like that. You doing stuff like that to where you can't look yourself in the mirror after you do it. Obviously, that type of shit is not worth that. It's not worth it. You ain't gonna be happy after doing shit like that. But when someone gives you money in exchange for hard work and effort, that's the best feeling in the world, in my opinion. These rappers got this kid to eat a dog shit sandwich. Like I thought that was the craziest thing in the world, man. That was the craziest thing. Like I mean, it's unfortunate that he was desperate enough to do the shit, but it's crazy that he actually did it. All right. A dog shit sandwich. Crazy. All right. Well, yes. Huh. Huh. Mm. Trump knows what he's doing, man. It's so crazy how Trump, just like what Santiago said, Trump is always doing this shit. He always shows up to the press conference when he want to show up. He know the market waiting on his ass, and he likes that feeling. He likes that shit. It's like, yeah, they all outside waiting on me. We get it, Trump. Show up on time. Damn. Hmm. These are the hard times with ES. Hmm. Well. Hmm. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this down here. I'm going to add, and I'm gonna attach this to the 200 EM. All right. So if we don't get a bounce, I mean, I think they're gonna probably try to sweep this. So I'm not gonna allow price to come all the way down here and stop me out. So what I plan on doing with this is kind of save this position. Is I'm going to see how price reacts at the orb low. If we don't get like a candle that sweeps the low and push back up, then I'm gonna get out of it. But mm, I should have paid more. Well, not necessarily paid more attention, but I should have respected this trend line instead of should have respected this trend line because I should have known that the ES would have respected it. Should have known that, or not known it because I do know it. It's just that I should have. Mm. Well, I tried to. Yes, it sucks. All right. Mm. You say you used to buy Walmart bread for $1. Now it's 147. And Trump got the ladies in the back fanning themselves, so I guess that room must don't have no air condition, no air, cool air circulating if everybody's fanning themselves. Someone in the comment section says, tell him to say tariff so NQ can dump to his entry. That's hilarious. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Shit, with this, like, dude, I feel like I'm waiting on Trump too. I feel like I'm in that room right now waiting on Trump. Mm, that's not good. That's not good. The Nasdaq kind of broke this small little support trend line that it got going on and broke it. That's not good. Mm. Well, it didn't break it yet, but it looks like the bulls are struggling at it. That's not good. He said 2 minutes left for Trump. Hold on, when was it? Hold on, 2 minutes? All right, so I'm actually in this trade. I'm actually in it. All right, I'm in this one. Yeah, I got my stop underneath that low, so that's actually where I want it. All right, so we'll see what happens with this trade right here. So I won't be taking a follow-up trade in this one unless I see like a super setup. But I took a long around the value area low, and there was like a little range right here too. So we'll see if this holds. Right now, it doesn't look like it wants to, but we'll see. As long as it doesn't go underneath this low, then I should be good. And my stop is kind of right there at that low. So we'll see what happens with this. Okay, so it looks like they're setting up.
Wow. I've been up here a lot. I've never seen a crowd like this. I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people, most I've ever seen in this room. And we're here for a very serious purpose, Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. Okay. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth, much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. Yeah, just like we did on our southern border. Nobody comes through our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And, you know, when you say take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. Red is, okay, the red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. D.C., 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. That where you want to live? The reporters of the world? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons, as they say. It's getting worse. Not getting better, it's getting worse. And we had a recent indication. There was a story about a man who was just left. He quit because he was asked to do phony numbers on crime. And we're going to look into that. I think Pam is going to be looking into that. But he was asked by the city, I guess, that we don't want to show the real numbers. Let me do numbers so it looks like it's going down. Not going down. And under Biden, it was a disaster.
I don't know, man.
And
That's
nobody
crazy.
did anything about it. We're going to do things
All
about
right,
it.
so
like you wouldn't
my
believe.
original entry on gold looks like it's actually
Every American
working.
has a constitutional
My follow-up
right to
entry
be
on
able
gold was
to
a flop.
access and petition their government in
Damn.
safety, and countless federal officials and employees likewise have the right to carry out their jobs in peace without being shot. As you know, I lost a very good person a while ago, was shot waiting for his wife. He was in the car. They robbed his car. They shot him. They killed him like it was nothing to it. She was walking to the car. It's a horror show. This issue directly impacts the functioning of the federal government and is a threat to America. Really, it's a threat to our country.
Damn, man.
We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. Days ago, a former member of the DOJ staff was savagely beaten by a band of roving thugs after defending a young woman from an attempted carjacking. He was left dripping in blood. He thought he was dead. with a broken nose and concussion. Can't believe that he's alive. He can't believe it. In June, a 21-year-old congressional intern was tragically killed after being hit by a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting. A former Trump administration official named Mike Gill, fantastic person, was murdered last year in cold blood in a carjacking blocks away from the White House. We all knew him. Great person. Waiting for his wife as she was walking to the car. A Democrat congressman was also carjacked at gunpoint not far from the Capitol. And in 2023, an aide to Senator Rand Paul was stabbed in the chest and head by a demented lunatic as he walked down the street, just absolutely for no reason. Horrifically, last July 4th weekend, a 3-year-old girl was shot in the head and killed while sitting in a car near the Capitol. It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness. And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live. Caravans of mass youth rampage through city streets at all times of the day. There are ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. Entire neighborhoods are now under emergency curfews. Just this past weekend, gunfire went through, and you saw that, the Navy Yard. I saw it this morning. They saw that they fought back against law. See, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last night. And they're not going to be fighting back long, because I've instructed them and told them whatever happens, they love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there.
I wonder if they're doing that
uniform,
purposely for
they're
with the audio.
standing, and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face, start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they can hit real hard. It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 3-4 years. I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any search. So and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. This dire public safety crisis stems directly from the abject failures of
All right, so if I don't see a push, I'm just going to get out of the. Okay.
City Council adopted no cash bail. By the way, every place in the country where you have no cash bail is a disaster. That's what started the problem in New York, and they don't change it. They don't want to change it. That's what started it in Chicago. I mean, bad politicians started it, bad leadership started it, but that was the one thing that's central: no cash bail. Somebody murders somebody and they're out on no cash bail before the day is out. We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute. I spoke with Pam and Todd and everybody. We're going to change the statute, and I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote because the Democrats are weak on crime.
Right.
Totally weak on crime. They don't know why. They want to stop because they get mugged too. But we're going to change no cash bail. We're going to change the statute and get rid of some of the other things. And we'll count on the Republicans in Congress and Senate to vote. We have the majority, so we'll vote. We don't have a big majority, but we've gotten everything, including the great, big, beautiful bill. Got that done, and that's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to people in this country. They're starting to figure it out, how good it is. Biggest tax cut in history. So many things. But we'll be able to get that done. So, Todd, if you and Pam can draw up things working with the people, we will. I'll get it passed. We'll get it passed with the Republicans. Probably won't get, think of this, probably won't get one Democrat vote because they have no idea what they're doing. That's why they want men playing in women's sports. That's why they want transgender for everybody transgender. And they just got walloped in an election, in a landslide, and they haven't changed one thing. I saw the other day certain gentleman who were very well-known politician, Democrat, was fighting like hell that men should be allowed to play in women's sport. They just don't get it. They said it's an 80-20 issue, and I think it's a 97-3 issue. And I don't know who the three are. I've never heard anybody come. Nobody's ever come up to me, sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. You have to do it, sir. Nobody's ever approached me. I don't know where this issue even comes from. Never seen anything like it. But they turned our nation's capital into a sanctuary jurisdiction. That's the other thing. We have to get rid of sanctuary cities as quickly as possible. We're going to do it, too. We have to. Because it's sanctuary for criminals. Releasing illegal alien gang members onto the streets in 2022, nearly 70% of criminals arrested in Washington went unprosecuted. That's not going to happen with the group we have standing aside and standing behind me. And at the Metropolitan Police Department, it's now reached a small number relatively compared to what it was, but it's thousands of people. You know, we have thousands of police. I was told today, sir, they want more police. I heard a number, 3,500 police. That's a lot of police. 3,500. I thought they were going to say, we only have 30 policemen or women. He said, we have 3,500. We need more. You don't need more. That's so many. I never heard. That's like an army. How could you need more than 3,000? It just happened 2 minutes ago. Sir, they've requested more police. Oh, what do they have? About 3,500. I said, 3,500? This is not a big area. It's ridiculous. What you need is rules and regulations, and you need the right people to implement them. And we have the right people here, that I can tell you. Look at the border. Biden said, there's nothing you can do. Kamala was the border czar. She never called one of the Border Patrol agents who are great. ICE is great. Never spoke to anybody. Never went there. But she was the border czar. And everybody said it was impossible to fix. I fixed it in 3 months. No, really. I fixed it the first week, but really fixed it over the last couple of months. And I mean, literally to a point where, as I said, 0 illegals entering our country in the last 90 days. Pretty amazing. It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to take years, because a lot of people die in years. And we've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job. And that we will deliver like nobody's ever delivered before. I actually think it's easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. You know, a lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police, and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got some police, but they're rough police, and they do their job. They don't have crime. We're not going to have crime either. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Again, cashless bail. Watch what we do with that. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was, with graffiti all over the walls. It's another part of it, by the way, because we're talking about safety, but we're also talking about beautification. We have the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly. We're going to replace the medians that are falling down all over the roads. We're going to replace the potholes. We're going to put a nice new coat of asphalt over the top. knowing we don't have to rip the road out and spend 7 years building a new road because they cut everything. Because some designer said, well, we need a 1/4 of an inch more turn for safety reasons. No, we're going to do it right. We're going to get it done quickly. So today we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department as of this moment. And I'll be making the appropriate notifications to Congress and to the mayor, our new DEA administrator, who's one of the top in the country. He better be Terry. If you're not, I'm going to get rid of you so fast. Terry Cole. Terry, thanks. Very good. We just got him. Most highly recommended person. And you'll be designated as the interim federal commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Department. Okay? And you run them tough. They're good. You have a lot of good people. You have people that shouldn't be there. You also have people that shouldn't be there. They got in there because of woke. But you have a lot of great police. And those people are the ones that want to help you. This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement, and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy because you'll be safe. When you walk down the street, you're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the street. You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed. By the way, we're going to have National Guard, but Pete Hegseth will tell you about it. We will bring in the military if needed. People say, oh, that's so terrible. He's going to bring in, it's been used many times over the years. I don't think we'll need it. I think we've got so many great people, including the people that are in the police department with proper leadership. They'll immediately begin massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. They won't be here long. But some of these people, a lot of them, are homegrown criminals. And these are bad people. These are rough people. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today that were criminals removed from the D.C. streets this weekend. They were rough and tough, but we're rougher and tougher. Look at these people here. Nothing, you know, they're not going to be your local school teacher. Look at this guy. He has killed people numerous times. They're not going to be an asset. They will never be an asset to society. I don't care. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed. I'm going to ask Doug Burgum to come up and say a couple of words because he's in charge, as you know. He's
honestly,
interior, but he's
when
in
it comes to
charge of
certain
the US
stuff,
Park Police. And I've heard so many great things about the Park Police. They're proud of it.
you
They've
take
been there
somebody's
for a long
life
time.
and somebody
oftentimes grow
has the
into
nerve to
roles.
sit here
They
and say
love
that
the
we can
country. They love this area. So, Doug,
rehabilitate
could you
this
say a
person.
few words, please?
Well, I feel that
Thank you, Mr. President.
if you can say that, then allow that person to take someone that you care about from you. Let them unnecessarily take their lives, and then I want you to come back and say that same stupid shit with the same type of energy after they kill your dog, mom, whatever. Because I feel that a lot of this sympathy, empathy for criminals are coming from people fantasizing about, the villain on TV shows and shit like that.
These folks have,
I mean, honestly,
tens of
with
millions of visitors a year.
TV,
the kind of people that President Trump's
these people are rooting for the villains. These villains are killing multiple people, and as people watch TV, they turn a blind eye. And when you have, I guess, that same criminal villain in real life, people just sympathize with them because that villain hadn't killed somebody that they care about.
The circles and
they say stupid shit like that, insensitive things like that.
Are actually federal.
So I feel like if that's how you strongly feel, then let him kill someone that you care care
became,
about and they say that same
littered
stupid
with
shit.
homeless camps under the Biden administration.
But we all
of you
know
saw that.
how it goes in
Since
real
President
life.
Trump's executive order on March 27th, making D.C.
If it was up to
safe
me,
and
shit.
beautiful again, the U.S. Park Police have removed over
You take
70
somebody's
homeless
life,
camps. And
you're gonna
President
replace
Trump
that
also
life with your
talked
own.
about beautification.
No questions asked. We
They're
don't care what the
stopping,
fuck he went through.
in enforcing the laws against graffiti on our monuments. They've removed over 80 specific attacks against our history.
Don't care about your
with
backstory.
graffiti on our monuments. So
No one
they continue
cares.
to do a great job, whether it's in their
You
vehicles,
took away
on
that.
foot,
You took
or on the
away. You
mounted
took someone's
police
life that
you see
somebody
around the
else may
National
care
Mall.
about. So
And
you
President
need to
Trump,
replace that
thank
life
you.
with
The
your
rank
own.
and file is so happy to be enforcing the law again. Thank you for your leadership, and they're excited about the announcement you're making today.
Thank you. Very good. Great job you're doing. Thank you very much. Pete, could you say something
well.
about the military if you would?
Well, Mr. President, it's an honor to be here. And at your direction this morning, we've mobilized the D.C. National Guard. It'll be operationalized by the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, through the D.C. Guard. You will see them flowing
Well,
into
I'm
the
gonna keep
streets
my
of
stops where
Washington
they
in the
at.
coming
I
weeks.
think I probably lost.
At
I
your
lost a
direction
lot
as
of
well,
money
sir,
today.
There are other units we are prepared to bring in.
I lost a lot of money
Other
today,
National Guard units,
and it
other
was mostly
specialized
because of the
units,
ES.
They will be strong.
I
They
would
will
have
be
lost
tough,
that trade
and they
anyway,
will
but I
stand
lost
with their
majority
law
of.
enforcement partners. This is nothing new for
And this is kind of
DOD.
the dangers with the
As the
ES is
president
that
noted,
loss.
at the border.
It's that
We've
one
got 10,000
loss.
troops down there who've been
I
operating
should have shorted the
in,
trend line like
defense
I
cooperation areas,
initially thought I
defense
should have.
zones,
So I'm kind
where
of
there's
disappointed that I went against
zero
it. But
illegal crossings because of troops on strikers scanning the border. We've been protecting other people's borders for 20 years. It's about
that's
time
my
we protect
fault.
our
I went
own.
against the
And we're
trend line
working
on
with
the ES. I
ICE
should
and
have known.
CBP. In Los Angeles,
It's my
we did the same thing. Working with the California National Guard, working with ICE officers. ICE officers deserve to do their job and not be attacked. We will work alongside all DC police and federal law enforcement to ensure this city is safe, this city is beautiful. And as I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is we have your back as well. Be tough, be strong. We're right behind you. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm going to ask Pam, because she's now, as you heard me say, she's really in charge of a lot of what we're talking about. She's done an incredible job. People are going to start to see the fruits of her labor. And Pam, maybe you could say a few words about what we're talking about here.
Sure, President. Let me be crystal clear. Crime in DC is ending and ending today. We are going to use every power we have to fight criminals here. President, thank you for caring about our capital. Families come here every summer. Our museums are free. We have the National Zoo. We have the National Gallery. DC should be a place where everyone can come and feel safe. Behind me and to my side, we have some of the best career law enforcement and prosecutors in the country who are ready to take this on. As the president said, Terry Cole is going to be supervising the Metro Police Department. Gaddy Serralta, our U.S. Marshal, is going to be supervising command and control, the entire operation. Our Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, and I will be working with them closely, along with our great FBI Director, Kash Patel. Kash is going to talk to you in a minute about what we did in Virginia recently with Governor Youngkin. Many of you covered that, and it was tremendously successful. Not only that, our secret weapon here in D.C. is U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, one of the toughest prosecutors and a former judge. And she is going to be talking about juvenile crime, how it's out of control here, and what she's going to do to fight back. No more crime rampant in our beautiful capital. No more teenage girls beating a disabled man to death. No more of that. No more drive-bys. We're going to do everything we can. And working with the ATF Director Driscoll and Commander of the Army, we're going to all work together. That's what we all do in this room. We work together, we fight. Do not underestimate one person in this room. We're going to make DC beautiful. We're going to make DC safe again. One other thing, just at the wharf a few days ago, the area of the wharf, Terry Cole reached out to me, not even nightfall, on the weekend, where so many families and tourists go. A guy's overdosing from fentanyl on a park bench in the middle of families around. They administered Narcan and saved his life. No more of that. The President of the United States is going to clean up DC, and we're going to be there to help him, and we're going to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Cash, talk about Northern Virginia. If you Northern Virginia, we had a big success.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for your leadership, Deputy Attorney General, the rest of our interagency partners. Mr. President, the following is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And I just want to highlight that before I get into Northern Virginia.
Well,
this year alone, under President Trump's administration,
that's
we've had
very
over
dangerous.
4,000 child victims identified.
That's going to be
and
very
found.
dangerous.
That's a 33% increase from the same time period last year. 33%
That's definitely dangerous.
increase. We've had a seizure of 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl up to this date. That is a
when you tell these cops, especially the ones that's going to be emboldened to,
and just to put it in
because you already know that these,
1,500 kilograms
you know
of
that these
fentanyl
cops
is enough
have
to
been
kill 115
hinting up a
million
lot of
Americans.
energy.
115
They weren't able to do their
million
job
Americans.
for a
Cops are
very
getting
long
after it.
time.
The FBI has
They
arrested
were punched in the
19,000
face,
people this year
and they
alone.
had to take it.
Thanks to President Trump's administration.
Now Trump has given them permission to actually do their job, and that's very dangerous.
And we have also arrested 1,600
Because all that
people
pent-up
who've
anger,
committed violent
all that
acts
pent-up
against
resistance
children.
against a group of people
270
is going to be
of them
taken out.
are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi. Your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens.
As I've said, it's going to embolden the bad apples.
We are now able to report that the murder rate
So that's going to be very dangerous.
The lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how do we do it? And what are we going to bring to D.C.? What we did in Northern Virginia, thanks to Terry Cole and Governor Youngkin and the team, we stood up a task force out in my Northern Virginia field office, and we said, let's let good cops be cops. Let's get them the intelligence and what they need, and let's get the red tape out of their way, and let's get DOJ partnered up with us to bring great prosecutions. And that's exactly what we did. In 1 month, we arrested 545 violent felons. 545 in the state of Virginia, thanks to Governor Youngkin's partnership. And that simplicity in law enforcement is what's coming to Washington, D.C. When you let good cops be cops, when you give them the intel they need, when you work with our Homeland Security Task Force, when you work with Terry and Gaddy and I go way back to Miami, these guys are great leaders of the respective departments and law enforcement capacities. And when you have the DOJ and President Trump driving behind this mission, we are going to clean up Washington, D.C., and we're going to do it the right way, the lawful way, and we're going to make sure Washington, D.C. is safe again. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cash. So the process begins right now. It actually started over the weekend, and we confronted a lot of very bad people. But it's going to be something that will be pretty amazing to you as you watch it. And I think most of you say it's a beautiful thing to do it right.
All right, well,
we're going to be removing homeless encampments from all over our parks, our beautiful, beautiful parks, which now a lot of people can't walk on. They're very dirty, got a lot of problems. But we've already started that. We're moving the encampments away, trying to take care of people. Some of those people, we don't know how they even got there. Some of those people are from different countries, different parts of the world. Nobody knows who they are. They have no idea, but they're there. We're getting rid of the people from underpasses and public spaces from all over the city. There are many places that they can go, and we're going to help them as much as you can help. But they'll not be allowed to turn our capital into a wasteland for the world to see. The Metropolitan Police Department and the federal authorities will be supported in the effort, a really big effort, the 800 DC National Guardsmen that we'll put on, and much more if necessary, much more. You remember I said, I offered 10,000 once. Remember I said to a certain person, person who I thought always was highly overrated, not very competent. But I said, if you need them, we'll give you 10,000 of the military or the National Guard. They turned me down. But if necessary, we're going to move service members directly to joining the Guardsmen. And that'll take place very rapidly, and that'll be done in conjunction with Pam and with Pete and everybody else. Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, and most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. And we're going to make it that. We're going to make it safe. We're going to make it smart. We're going to make it beautiful, so beautiful. Some of the buildings, we're going to add to it. You see what we've done at the White House. White House is a whole different building. I do that in my part-time because it's a natural instinct as a real estate person. I was very good at that, and I was very good at fixing things up. I like fixing things up. You see what's happening. The marble floors are being reinstalled, renovated, fixed. The whole place is becoming very beautiful. We're going to be adding a magnificent ballroom, most beautiful ballroom, I think, anywhere. We need it. I would have certainly loved to have had it today.
So K Trader says
filled it up. A
that
lot of
he's been
you
talking
are
about
standing
fentanyl
outside,
for a long
can't get in
time.
this room. I have never seen the room like this, which tells me that you want to talk about, I mean, this was a DC news conference. It tells me that you want to talk about crime in DC and beautification of DC, but I'm going to put that's easy. And I think, frankly, fixing the crime with the pros, fixing the crime is easy too. A person who I've known for a long time, and she's been,
You know, honestly,
incredible. She
it's
was
I find it weird that people.
fantastic, one of the best ever.
Well, I guess it does make
attorneys in
sense.
New York. She was in
I mean, I
Westchester
guess
and
somebody of a
became
sound
judge, very
mind,
successful
when you
judge.
hear that if you
And then she
consume
went
a
into
substance
showbiz because she was such a good
and
DA
it will take
and
your life
such a
away,
good judge,
or
tough judge, but
potentially it's
fair.
highly likely
Always
that
fair.
it
Nobody
would,
ever
you
complained
would say,
about that,
why
but
would
she was
somebody
tough.
do that?
And
But
because of
to
that
someone
and her
that's
reputation, she went into showbiz. So a lot of people
addicted
don't,
to
you know,
a
they think
certain
of Janine
drug,
as showbiz.
they're trying
Actually,
to escape
showbiz
death.
was not her thing. It
It's
was,
obviously
and
the
she did
ultimate
great.
escape, right?
She was on along with a couple of other of my friends. On
So
the
I guess if you
#1
can feel
show.
good and die at the same
And,
time
she
to
did
someone
great,
that's
but
trying to escape from
this is
this
what
physical
she loves
reality, I
doing. This is
guess
really her,
that within itself.
her baby. What she's going to do is going to be incredible. And I'd like to speak for just a
I
few
guess makes it a
seconds
hot
on,
commodity.
what she has in mind. What she
Trump
wants
has
to
said
do. We're
that
gonna
he
be
wants
appointing
to
some
deal with
judges.
this
We have
fentanyl
some
problem.
open spots, and we're going to take people because the judges are letting killers out.
I'm
They
trying
just say,
to
"Go.
kind of get an idea
It's
of
okay.
how does
Don't
he
worry
plan
about
on
So we're
stopping
putting some
something? Because I mean, obviously,
Pam
if you
recommended,
stop something
Todd
that's that
recommended,
popular,
some judges that are great. Janine recommended.
you would have to stop it literally at the source.
Already, we have about 10 open
And
spots, so we could probably
if he says
create
that the
some more. We
source
need
is
a-
China,
Janine, would you say a few words, please?
and I'm
Thank
pretty
you
sure
very
it's
much,
not only
Mr.
China.
President, and
I'm pretty
thank
sure
you,
there's
Madam
other.
Attorney General, and to all
I mean,
my
I
partners
don't
here.
believe fentanyl is only
We
coming
all
from one
want the
place.
same
But
thing. We all want a safe city. We want a safe capital. We
I don't know
wanna
how
be
we can
able to bring
effectively
our
tackle that
families
problem
here. We want to be
unless
able to
they take it
come
out
and
at the
enjoy
source.
the history that makes this place great. And unfortunately, we are not in that position right now. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for taking the step that we need right now
Honestly, again,
to
wait.
make criminals understand that they are not
I
going to get
mean,
away
if
with it
I'm
anymore.
pretty, well,
And I'm
I
not
guess
gonna
that
stand
would
here
kind
and
of
go
be.
over and over the cases. But what I can tell
I mean,
you is
there's
this.
already a place
I see
for
too
people
much
like that,
violent
and it's called a
crime being
concentration
committed
camp.
by young
And
punks
that
who
would kind of
think
make
that
it
they can get together
unethical.
in gangs
But
and crews and beat the hell out of you or
I mean, this
anyone
problem
else.
has
They
gone
don't
so
care
far
where they
that
are. They can be
at
in
this point,
DuPont
the only way
Circle,
to fix
but
this
they
problem would be an
know that
extreme
we can't
measure.
touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak.
Drug
I can't
addicts have
touch you if
ruined
you're 14,
Chicago,
15, 16, 17 years old,
Philadelphia,
and you have a
Detroit,
gun. I
California.
convict someone of shooting
When you see the
another
images
person
of
with an
just
illegal
fiends,
gun
just
on a public bus,
zombies
in
on the side of the
chest,
street, like,
intent
dude,
to
I've already
kill,
said it. Like, when I see
I
that,
convict him.
and that's
And
being
you know what
allowed,
the judge gives him? Probation.
how can you have
Says you should go
tourists
to college.
come to your city or your
We
state
need to go after the DC Council and their absurd
when you got
laws.
fiends just
We
laying
need
out,
to get rid of this concept
knocked out?
of, you know,
When I went to
no cash bail.
Colorado back
We
when
need to recognize
around
that
when
the
COVID was
people
still
who
around,
matter are the law
all the
abiding
fiends was just
citizens.
on
And it
every
starts
corner.
today.
Like
But it's not going to end today, because the president is going to do everything we need to do to make sure that these emboldened
every corner had a
criminals
fiend. Like
understand,
it wasn't a.
we're watching you, and we're going to change the law to
It
catch
inspired
you.
me not to
And my
ever do
final note
drugs.
is this. These kids
Because I would hate to see
understand
myself
that the
just.
jurisdiction
It's
is
like these
through the
people are not
state
even like
attorney
this. Just their
general,
bodies
Brian
are alive,
Schwab.
but their souls
I
already
did a
ejected
poster of the
from their
young
bodies
man
a
from
long time
Doge
ago.
who was beaten
They're just
bloody
being
with a
operated off
severe
of the, I
concussion,
guess.
a broken nose. And then
I
I
don't
did
know,
a
but
poster of what happens to those kids, because I
zombies,
can't
dude.
arrest them, I
Zombies.
can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough.
And it's not a good look for the city. It's
Changes
definitely not.
today.
It
Thank
definitely
you,
isn't.
Mr. President.
You're welcome. Great job. Thank you. If I could, I just signed some executive orders. I'd like to have Will please come up and we'll let the people know what we signed. Do you want to put them down?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me see, man. I think I should be
A short while
good,
ago in
man.
the
I
Oval
think.
Office, President Trump signed two.
I know I
crucial
probably took. I'm
executive
probably down
actions
like
to
2
deal
or
with the
3K,
emergency
man.
crime conditions we currently
I'm probably
face
down like 2
in
or
the
3K,
District of
and I know I
Columbia.
am.
The first of these was an executive order, as President Trump said before.
I mean, if I can get
invoking
some
his
of these
powers
targets
under
hit, I can
Section
probably
40
break
of the
even
Home
and
Rule
be
Act
profitable.
to take
But I
federal
know that I'm down
control
like
of the
2 or
D.C.
3K right now.
Metropolitan Police Department. Along with that executive order, President Trump signed the statutorily required notification letters to Mayor Bowser and to the relevant House and Senate committee leaders. The second major executive action that President
I
Trump signed
think we can
was a
see
presidential
potentially a
memorandum
bounce,
directing the
potentially
Secretary of
to
Defense
780
to utilize the National Guard
before we
to
see like a
address the
pullback or
conditions we
something like
see
that.
on
We can
our
potentially
streets
see
here in D.C.
780.
It also authorized the Secretary of Defense to work with state governors
Because if
to
the Bulls
utilize
can
their
hold
National
this,
Guard
if
units
they
if
take out this
necessary as
high,
well. These
I
are
mean,
bold,
it stops that
decisive
above this
steps
high. I mean,
intended
where
to
else is going to
combat
run
the
to?
out-of-control
I think
crime
we'll probably get
conditions
to
we've
like
seen on
800.
D.C. streets
Probably
for
800 is
far too
probably
long. And I, for
800,
one, am deeply
815-ish.
proud to be part of an administration that's finally coming to terms with these issues, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you. So, just to conclude,
You say it
Washington,
was long?
D.C. should be
You know,
one of the
dude,
safest,
I hate when
cleanest,
the
most
when the
beautiful
market is trading
places
this
anywhere
way.
in the world. It was years ago.
When it's in its leave nobody
We
behind
had one
phase.
problem that was a pretty big problem.
I just hate the fact that I kind of
Radical
I messed
left
up on
got
this
out of
entry on
control, and
gold.
they started trying to rip down statues. And I said, let's go pass a law real fast. We're going to do it real fast. But we were blocked by the Democrats who do not want safety. Nobody gets it. I don't get it. They don't get it because they can't get votes. I don't know how they can win an election with this, but they don't want safety. And I found an old statute, very old, early 1900s, that said if you so much as touch or even think about destroying a statue or a monument in Washington, D.C., you go to jail for 10 years with no probation, no anything. In other words, slightly different than we have today. Today we have cashless bail. Today you get jailed 10 years, no curtailed sentence, 10 years. And we took it out. Nobody used it. It was never used because, you know, it's harsh. And you remember they started to rip down the statue of Abraham Lincoln. I said, that's a tough one to rip down. He was pretty good, Pam. I think he was pretty good. When the ropes started going around Abraham Lincoln to pull him down, Andrew Jackson, others, and they were heading to the Jefferson Memorial, Thomas Jefferson. They're going to do a big number there. I said, it's time. And I signed that statute immediately. We had it updated.
Damn, 10 years for a statue, huh?
Use the same
That's gonna be a hard one.
Congress.
No bond, no nothing, no probation.
No probation, no anything. 10 years.
Man, that's
no curtail
crazy.
Sentence if you touch so much as touch a statue in Washington, D.C.
Man, that's tough.
And it was an amazing sight, beautiful sight. Everybody just left. The ropes were hanging around Andrew Jackson, and there were 2 ropes around Abraham Lincoln. They left the rope, but everybody just left. And that was the last problem we ever had. You know, that was the last problem that we ever had with the statues. They were going wild. And somebody came to me and said, sir, in 1910, I don't want to give you an exact because you'll say, Donald Trump gave us wrong dates around like early on. You know, if I'm slightly off, they make you sound a little bad. So I won't put myself in that position. I won't put you in that position because I think everybody agrees with what we're doing today. But when I signed that thing, it was like a miracle. Everybody left. They were gone. They were starting to march down. They started the march toward Thomas Jefferson. And I figured he was always going to be safe. But they found something with him, and they found something with Abraham Lincoln. And even in the name George Washington in California, numerous places changed the name of George Washington
what
High
happened with
School
Top
and
Step?
various other places. They took George Washington's name. This was a sick, woke culture that I think we've largely ended.
What happened with Top
And
Step?
a lot of those people that were woke
You
are now
said funded
turning out
next.
to be,
Yeah, so YM,
The opposite.
I don't trade outside of the.
It's a very
I
special.
mean, I don't trade with
category.
Top Step anymore because I feel that they're
They've
too
gotten out of
expensive
that.
for the
But we
product that
have,
they're trying to sell.
We have people that love this
Um,
country and they love this.
I kind of stay with the
This really
established
beautiful
firms.
capital. It is. I flew over it the other day and
So
I said,
I mean,
what
I
a
think we
beautiful
can
place.
look.
But when,
You
if
said
there's
funded
crime
next.
all over the
We can look.
streets, when you
But
get
I've
there, it
already
doesn't look so
shared my
beautiful. But
opinion.
we're going to make it beautiful again.
Kind of. So if y'all familiar with what happened with the
Fix it with
T app,
crime, and we're gonna
that's
also, as we're
exactly
doing that, we're going to start
what I was referring to
doing
when you
things that we know
put
how to do that I know
all
how
your
to do better than
information
anybody, I
on
guess, because of my
a
experience from
website that's not
previous
run
life.
by an establishment, but
But
a
not only
group
are we
of people
stopping
with
the
an
crime, we're going
LLC,
to
and
up the
your personal
trash
information
and the
could get
graffiti
doxed
and
or
the
leaked
grime
if
and the dirt and the
these people
broken
aren't
marble panels
building their site with
and
security
all
in
of the
mind.
things they've done to hurt this city.
So I don't
And we're
trade
going to restore the
outside
city
of
back to the
my funded
gleaming
futures,
capital that everybody wants it to be. It's going to be
Apex,
something very special.
Tradeify is pretty
All
good.
of
It's
these
decent.
people
I don't like
are
the payout
really tough. Could I shake your
payout
hand,
scheme, but
Getty,
it's
please?
trade.
You're going to be so important.
Outside of
Getty.
that,
You're going to be.
but we can look
You're
at
going to
it.
be that guy. I hope I don't have to fire him in 2 weeks because he's too soft. I don't think he's too soft. If I do, I will, though. Is it okay if you?
I know trade day
you're
is good.
soft, weak,
A lot of people in the
and
chat can
pathetic, like
definitely
so many people, I will
back
fire
up trade
you
day.
so fast.
I mean, if you like
You're
take
not gonna
profit
have to worry
trader,
about that.
trade
No, I
day
think
is
you're gonna
very
do a
similar.
Fantastic job. And everybody in this room, they may not express it, but they all want that to happen. You know, they want to be safe and their families too. So it's an honor to have such
It doesn't
a large
look
group.
like they
I've done
do.
this for years now. Hard to believe. I've never seen this
Let's
room
see.
so packed. In fact, I'm sure it's a
Yeah, it doesn't
violation
look
of
like they
every
do.
fire code. But we'll let you stay anyway. You're taking a chance. And with that, we'll say maybe if you could. Oh, wow. We could be here all day long. If you could, if we could keep the first questions perhaps to this subject, and then we'll go on to a few others. Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much. Can you talk about how personal of an issue this
Yeah,
is?
they only
We
have
talked about
Tradeovate
flying
and
over
Ninja Trader on
Washington
Funded
Monument
Next.
and seeing pride of what DC is, and do you believe that the status of the city, the cleanliness, the way that crime is low, is a direct reflection on how the country is run?
Yeah, I do. I think the
Top
Capitol,
one,
look, everyone
top
comes here.
one.
They're all coming. All the leaders.
I've been hearing some
They're all
negative
wanting
things
to
about
come.
them.
And I say it, I've said it again, but I'm really just quoting other leaders from
I've been hearing
NATO,
a lot of
from the
negative
Middle
things
East,
about Top
King
One.
of Saudi Arabia,
I wouldn't recommend.
Qatar, UAE. I was over there. We brought back $5.1 trillion
wouldn't recommend Top
of
One.
investment into our country. But I was
Uh,
a month and a half
not
ago,
only
I was
are they
at NATO.
denying
They had a
payouts,
great
but
thing. They
they're
agreed to put up
resetting your
5%
balance.
instead of 2%.
Now you got to think
2%
about
they didn't
that.
pay, 5%
If
is already
you
paid.
broke up one of their
We had a great
rules
meeting, and they all said the
and you
same
made
thing. They said our
profits,
country was dead.
they
They
reset
thought
your
our country was
balance.
gone.
But
1 year ago,
if something
they said
happened in
your
the
country
markets
was
where
dead.
you know maybe the
And now you have
platform
the hottest
glitches or
country
something
anywhere
like
in the world.
that,
We
and
do.
you
We're the
ask them
hottest
to
country in the
reset your
world right now.
balance, they'll probably say they couldn't
The
do
tariffs
it.
have helped.
But they
It's given
can
us
they can
not only
reset
the money,
profits
it's
when you break
billions,
rules or deny
trillions of dollars
payouts.
of money, but it gives us great
When a
power
firm starts
over
doing stuff like
enemies. We
that,
solved
I
5
tend to
wars.
not want to trade with them.
Pakistan and
Trading is
India
already
with,
an
we just
emotional
solved one.
experience. Having stuff like that
Azerbaijan
on
and,
top of that is just
as you know,
unnecessary.
in Armenia.
But
A war was raging for 37 years, and the two leaders got up and they said, "We never thought this would be solved." Russia tried to solve it. They all tried to solve it. It was a very tough situation, but we got it done and got it done. And I said to the two men, I said, "Are you guys friends?" And they had a hard time. You know, they've been killing each other for 37 years, right? One was there 5 years, one was there for 22 years. He said, "My
yeah, I
whole
think
life
so.
I've been fighting
TBT,
this
my
war,
funded futures are really,
and you
yeah,
got it
I think
solved."
so.
But we did many of those.
I think
we
so.
did, in the Congo and Rwanda. That's been going on for 30 years. 8 to 9 million people.
I think
killed that
my
they know
funded
of,
futures
but it was
probably has
raging, and
the
we got that
cheapest
solved. We got a lot of
eval
it done. It's
next
a great
to
honor.
Apex
But
with their
you
core
wanna
plan, I
have-
believe, is
when they come,
$70.
the leaders come to our country to sign documents that the war is over or whatever. Or for
Honestly,
other
that's my
reasons. They come
favorite
for
account
trade.
that they have. Is that core?
And you want them to come through so beautifully. You ride down those roads, everything should be perfect. You shouldn't have medians falling down into the roadway. Median, you know, the metal things that are always. Somebody had a great lobbyist, because I've never seen them look good. I've been looking at those things with the little, right? They're always broken and bad. but here they're really bad. And we're going to either put new or fix it. And it's not expensive. It's not really expensive. And we're going to fix our roads a little bit. We're going to clean up our sidewalks. You have countries where every Saturday, the people go out and they wash their sidewalks in front of their stores or their houses. They scrub their sidewalks. So we aren't quite at that level yet, I don't think. Gaddy, we're not quite there yet, but maybe we will. They go out and they scrub. I think it's so beautiful to hear that and to see those stories. But we're
I mean, I'll say this, man. I try not to get caught up in who the president is, and the only thing that I try to focus on is if the CEO of the United States is competent,
and when they
pushing policies. I don't really care about what they do in their personal lives. I really don't.
Tell me, I had a wonderful father.
I really don't care what anybody do in their personal lives, because life is already hard enough.
And you see a dirty front door.
So I understand that people have.
Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol.
As long as it's not dealing with kids and harming kids. Man, I don't care if you like getting your balls kicked or you like getting pissed and shitted on. I mean, that's your own personal life. As long as you're doing what you need to do as the CEO of the United States, or if you're in a position of power, as long as you're fulfilling that role and you're competent, I don't think your personal life should matter. Again, unless it involves harming children.
That send mixed messages that if marijuana is okay, drugs are.
I don't think that.
Okay, but we're trying to clean up crime. How
I don't want.
We're only looking at that. That's early, but somebody reported it, which is fine. We're looking at it. Some people like it. Some people hate it. Some people hate the whole concept of marijuana.
I would just hate for
it does bad for the children.
The situation that we had with Biden, where it was obvious that he wasn't 100% there, and then you would have to ask yourself, if we now know with 100% certainty that Biden was on vacation most of his presidency, and he was suffering from dementia or whatever the hell was going on with him, who was running the country in the shadows? Who was actually the shadow president? That's the question that people should be asking, but nobody seems to want to ask that question out loud or talk about it. Biden was obviously not there. He was obviously not the quote-unquote president. The shadow president was running the country, whoever that was.
Watching this, they're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching, and maybe they'll clean up, and maybe they'll do this and get rid of the cashless bail thing and all of the things that caused the problem. I mean, if you go back, this whole thing with cashless bail is a disaster. So many problems came that we never had before. So they're watching us today, and if they don't learn their lesson, if they haven't studied us properly, because we're going to be very successful. I have zero doubt about that. It's going to be. It's a question of will it be really fast, like the border. You know, everyone said, they used to say, Biden used to say, I need legislation. I need
the shadow government.
I didn't get any legislation.
I would feel that it would be very naive to believe that there is not a shadow government.
And we did a great job. Tom Homan was great. As you know, our secretary did a great job. They did a great job. There's no games. They didn't play games. And we're going to have the same thing here. But then I'm going to look at New York in a little while. Let's do this.
I mean, like I said, Congress has more power than the president. So that right there,
if we need to,
is obviously Congress is not a shadow government,
which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent.
It's a form of power that has more power than the president. So
we have an incompetent
if people sit here and say that they want the most power, well, shit, become a member of Congress
and he ran for governor.
Be in a position in Congress. I mean, be in Congress, but then in a position of power within Congress.
You never know what happens.
And that's where most of the power lies, at least out in the open.
Guy thrown out of the family business. But when I look at Chicago and I look at L.A., if we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn. If he would have allowed the water to come down, which I told him about in my first term. I said, you're going to have problems. Let it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into L.A. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully LA is
like
watching.
I said, man, it kind of sucks. This is going to probably be a lessons learned for me.
They lost like 25,000 homes. I went there the day after the fire. You were there.
So my initial entry in gold would have super worked,
and
that sucks. I mean, it would have worked. It would have super worked, man.
Even
that
the
sucks.
steel was literally.
I took a
all
entry because
warped
I
and
kind of
literally
figured that the market was going to
'cause
continue
of
to
the winds
trend
and the flame
here
and
on
the whole
gold,
thing,
but
like
we
a
didn't get that.
blowtorch. They were standing on this beautiful day, maybe a couple of days after.
And then the shit comes
We had a
right
little
back
time
down,
because
taps my
what
original
they had
entry, and then
suffered.
it bounces.
Almost 25,000 homes.
I don't, dude.
And
I
you
don't
see
know,
what's
man.
happening now.
I
They
really
didn't give
don't
their
know.
permits. I went to a town hall meeting.
I really don't know
I
what
said,
it is
"We're gonna
about
get you
because
the
I'm
federal
copy trading
permits,
this
which are much
account,
harder."
and it just seems like I'm.
Almost immediately. Lee Zeldin
It just
is
seems
a
like, dude, it
star.
seems
He
like
did
I'm
an
losing
incredible
more
job.
often
They
than
have
I'm
all
winning
their
in these
federal permits.
accounts.
They don't have their city permits. And the mayor said to me,
And that's kind of why
"We
I
think
went
we
tilt
can have
last
them in
week because
2
it's
years."
like, well, shit.
I was walking down the street and I met with firemen and police.
I did it. I would have
And I was
left
saying hello to
my
many
entry
people that
down
were
there,
standing in front of their
and then
homes
I guess
with yellow tape.
under
You can't go in.
different
You can't go onto
circumstances,
the
it probably
lot.
wouldn't even came
And
back
those
and
people
touched
wanted
it.
to start rebuilding the homes.
And so I
then
figured,
there.
well, since the market, I
And the
guess,
mayor
is trying
said we should
to,
be able to get them the permits
I
within
guess,
2
trying
years.
to
I said, that's a
turn
shit,
here.
2 years. Are you kidding? I'm going to get them the
I
federal
mean, it made
permit,
like a little
almost
new little low
immediately,
right
2
here,
years.
so I kind of figured
And
that price was
ruled
going
back, well,
to,
maybe 1 year. The place was booing her
you
out
know,
of the place. They don't have their permits to build their
find
homes.
support here
And now
at this
they're
little
talking about
range,
putting,
and it didn't do it.
this is among the
And
most
now here it
beautiful
is that
areas
if I
was
stayed at that original
in the
entry,
country.
I
Now
just
they're
would have got
talking
my
about putting
target filled.
low-income housing there. Can you believe
That
this?
sucks.
I love low-income housing. I made
sucks.
money with low-income housing. I built low-income housing. I know more about low-income housing and luxury housing. I know about
Yeah, dude, it
everything
does,
real
man.
estate.
Like, dude, this market, I
They want to
mean,
replace some of those homes with
this market is kind of
low-income
horrible.
housing.
I'm not going to sit here and say that that
They
is
haven't
not.
gotten their permits yet.
It's
We've
not-
gotten all the federal permits, which are much tougher to get, and it was done almost immediately through Lee Zeldin and Federal Environmental.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
I
leave
watched the other day,
my
those
stop right
people are
here.
Angry, and now they had tremendous. They love that area. They loved the whole big area, different places.
Oh,
but they
Gold,
loved it.
why
It
you
was
do
all
me like
luxury
that? Why
stuff
you
and
why you
beautiful
breaking my
stuff.
heart
And
like that,
some
Gold?
wasn't that
Like,
luxury,
damn,
but the level of love.
damn, Gold,
For that
shit.
neighborhood, their neighborhoods was incredible. And you know what? I watch people on television. They want to go. They want to leave. They've lost their spirit. They've lost their heart, because the mayor's incompetent, and Gavin Newsom is incompetent. Got a good line of bullshit, but that's about it. He's incompetent. And you have Los Angeles is, it's amazing. I called. The first thing I did, I got the Olympics to go there. I was the one that got it. And by
This was my original entry on Gold.
I'll be the president. I was
My
very
original
upset
entry
'cause I
right
got
here
the
was on
Olympics,
Gold,
I
and
said,
look
I want the
how
president
it
when
would have
comes,
tapped
but
me.
bad
It would have
things
tapped me
happened,
in,
and illegal things
and
happened,
I would have
really
got my
illegal
target
things
hit
happened.
right here.
Now it turns out one good thing was I'm going to be the president for the Olympics for 2050, for 250, which is going to be fantastic, and also for the World Cup. So we have.
But
a lot
I'm
of
going to
good
definitely
things. I
sell
hope
this retest it right
250
here.
is going to be the
Hopefully, it
250th
doesn't
anniversary is going to be the
change
best.
this
But
retest
when
of
I looked at those people, and I
breaker
saw
structure
last
down.
night on television,
Hopefully,
that
it doesn't.
They still don't have their
but
permits. It's a disgrace what's happened in Los Angeles.
Thank you. The China tariff deadline is tonight, but do you plan to extend that?
We'll see what happens. China's been, we've been dealing very nicely with China, as you probably have heard. They have tremendous tariffs that they're paying to the United States of America. And we'll see what happens. They've been dealing quite nicely. The relationship is very good with President Xi and myself.
You mentioned your upcoming meeting with President Putin. Can
Yeah.
you tell us what you hope to get out of that and whether you consider inviting President Zelensky to join?
Yeah, okay, Trader,
So
yeah.
you have to understand, this is a war that should have never happened. This is a war that wouldn't have happened if I were president. Would have never happened. It was the apple of his eye. I got along very well with President Putin. But if you look, under President Bush, they took a lot of territory. Under President Obama, they took a lot of territory. Under Biden, they essentially took the whole thing. It's just a question of time. Under Trump, you know what they took? Nothing. I was the one that said, you can't build your pipeline. That was half built. I came in, I stopped the pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody knows that, Nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2. You might have not even heard it. Biggest pipeline in the world. I stopped it. I was not a friend of Russia, but I got along well with Putin. It's always good to get along with other countries if possible, but that doesn't mean you roll over like Biden did. Biden came in and he immediately approved the pipeline. I couldn't believe it. Then they say Trump wasn't tough on Russia. I wasn't tough. I was the toughest. Putin said, if you're not tough, I would hate like hell to see you visit. I stopped the biggest economic development job, the biggest job that Russia had ever built. I stopped it. It was dead. And this low IQ president came in and he let them build a pipeline and supply oil and gas all over Europe, you know? So this is really a feel-out meeting a little bit. And President Putin invited me to get involved. He wants to get involved. I believe he wants to get it over with. Now, I've said
that
that
sucks.
a few
Okay,
times,
whatever, man.
and I've been disappointed.
Whatever, man. All right.
Because I'd have like a great call with him, and then missiles would be lobbed into Kiev or some other place,
that
and
sucks.
you'd have 60 people laying on a road dying. I said, that's cold. That's cold. But it's a violent war. 5,000 to 7,000 people a week are dying. And you know, there's nobody from here. They're all Russian and Ukrainian people, and some people from the cities, much smaller number, but still, those missiles do damage and they kill a lot of people, but mostly soldiers. And they're young soldiers, although in the case of Ukraine, they're getting much older. They're drafting 60-year-olds now. It's a terrible thing to witness, and I think I have an obligation. Look, this is Joe Biden's war. This is not my war. I made a deal with NATO a month ago. You covered it very accurately, actually. We don't pay anything anymore. You know, we're not paying anything. They are buying things from us, and NATO is paying us. I got it raised from 2% of GDP
All right,
to
guys.
5%.
That's it for me today.
And,
Today was
they're
definitely
paying
not a
us
good day. I
for
think I
everything that we
lost
send.
about
We're not paying.
$3,000
But Biden
today.
approved $350 billion.
I think I lost about
Europe
3K
has spent
today.
$100 billion.
It was not a good
The
day.
money that's been spent and the death is incredible. It's the worst thing that's happened, by far the worst that's happened
I
since
can probably
World War
break
II.
even if
So I'm
we
going
see a
in
bullish.
to speak to Vladimir Putin.
If the bulls can hold it, it does look
And
like
I'm
they'll
gonna be
hold it. So
telling him,
it
"You gotta
does look
end
like
this
I'll
war.
probably
You
get
gotta
my
end
money
it."
back. It
And
looks like
he
I
wasn't
can
gonna mess with
potentially
me.
break even today.
This war would have never happened. You know, we had a discussion about it one time, and we never had that discussion
But
again. Would have never happened. And when the election was rigged, and then Biden took office, which was
yeah, I'm gonna have to probably go back to the drawing boards on
auto
this
pen
one
took
because
office.
man, that was a
Bad
big
things
loss
started
today.
happening. Bad
Really
things,
big
stupid
loss.
things were said, and it ended up in a war. And you know, and I don't believe this will happen anymore because I have that.
So yeah, I'm just gonna
pretty
let
well
this
covered.
trade play out.
This could end up in a
and,
third world war. This could have been
we'll
a
see what
third
happens.
world war. I don't think that's going to happen now. But I thought it was
All
very
right, guys,
respectful
that's it for
that
me.
the president
We'll
of
definitely come back later on tonight, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody.